have already answered this in your opening statement. However, some of these questions came from a lot of our residents, and so I just wanted to be able to go through it pretty quickly. We'll start with Robin this time. What I'd like you to do is just answer when you moved to Queen Creek, if you've attended the Citizen Leadership Institute, and this probably doesn't apply to our incumbents, but how many council meetings you've attended in the last year, and if not an incumbent, how do you plan on getting up to speed on issues faced by the town? So if we start with Robin on that.
Thank you. So as I said, I started doing work in Queen Creek in 1995. I was finally able to move here in 2005. We built our own custom home. I immediately jumped into the citizen leadership class, which took me 3 years to graduate from because I was busy. And I volunteered, like many of us. I've been on the Transportation Advisory Committee since 2006 when it started. I was appointed to the council in 2009 to replace or fill a vacancy, and I remain on the council to this day, and I'd like to continue to serve the community. I think the last part of the question was how often do I attend? Every time, with the exception of one meeting last 2 weeks ago when I was here.
Okay, Craig?
I moved here in 2000, and yes, I've graduated from the Citizen Leadership Institute, and I figured it out I've been to over 200 of the last meetings, and I think I've missed 5 in the last 8 years.
Okay. Jeff?
My history is that in 2002, I was looking for a home. I lived in Tempe at the time, and I'm one of those nerd guys that wants to know where, when I'm moving to a house, I don't want to know that there's going to be a smokestack there in a couple of years. So I looked at the general plan, and I had a couple of questions, and I called the town manager at the time. She called me back within an hour. So talk about big fish in a small pond. And she invited me to Howdy Doody Neighbor Days. And I thought, wow, that's a pretty cool outreach program. And so I went and was immediately sold. I plunked down my hard-earned money and bought my home, and it was finished in April or March of 2003, and I moved in. I did immediately get onto the Citizen Leadership Institute, and boy, were my eyes opened at that time. I loved the town, and I knew I had to get involved. There was a threat in 2003, right after I plunked down my money, and the threat was that we were going to be bypassed. All home building would bypass the town of Queen Creek and go to Santa Ana Valley and Johnson Ranch. And I thought, well, if those are substandard projects, well, then I'm just fine with that happening. And so I wrote a letter to the town council saying you need to hold firm. Development should pay for itself. Growth should pay for itself. And so to that end, I got involved, and that's my history, and I've been involved ever since, as I mentioned, on many committees and commissions. So I love this town.
Thank you. Stacy?
I think, as I said, I moved here 10 years ago. I live in the Rancho Jardines community. I'm actively involved in the equestrian community, and so a lot of my influence comes from that background, but I've also met a lot of new young families through my daughter's school, and I learned that there just seems to be such a hubbub as the town starts to grow, and everybody has a different opinion of what's good for the town and what's not good for the town, and what if we use that, and what if we use this, and the more I listened, and my husband and I got involved in a few issues as well, and I thought, you know what, you can't complain if you don't get involved. And what I realized is I think there needs to be a little more transparency. So I'm just now learning what is involved in town council and what type of opportunities I can take advantage of, what meetings I can go to, all of that. And I realized if I'm only now learning that because I want to run, I think there's not been enough transparency. So
Stacy, have you been attending town council
I
meetings?
have not yet, and I will tell you, I plan on doing it. Right when I decided to run, my father decided to have a heart attack as well. So I've been a little bit busy with family stuff,
Sure.
but all that's doing better.
Okay.
And so just want to get involved and want to be the voice of the people. It's not so much what I want, but I hear there's a lot of people out there that I don't think their voices are being heard.
Okay, and have you attended the Citizen Leadership Institute?
I have not yet, but
Okay.
again, just learned of that and would like to do that as well and plan on doing that. So, and I know once I'm involved in town council, I'm totally there and totally committed. I love this community and love what it stands for, and so.
Okay, thank you. How about you, Matt?
Okay, just a little bit of the story. I was brief when I said we moved here from Arkansas, and that's not the whole story. It was 5 years ago, but the story starts much further back than that. I actually visited my wife's family here. I almost call it West Queen Creek. They lived in Power Ranch. So we visited there several times over the course of about 5 or 6 years. I think we made it 3 times. And the first time we're like, okay, this is a really nice place. It wouldn't be great to live in a place like this. We came the second time, and the feelings got stronger. It's like, we really should live here, not just it'd be a nice place. And the last time, we knew we were going to come. It took about, I think, 2 years after that. We were working on selling the house, and it wouldn't sell, and it wouldn't sell. And we finally said, my son was going to be a junior in high school. We said, if we didn't just go, we probably can't go for another 2 years. So we made the plunge, and as we would say down south, we loaded up the wagon and moved to Queen Creek instead of Beverly. But I think Queen Creek is even better than Beverly Hills, and I love being here. But that's really the story how we got here. So that was 5 years ago. 4 months of that was in Painted Trail Apartment by Higley, and we found our house in Cortina and have been there ever since. I haven't attended the assistant leadership. I would love to do that, and I'll be able to do that. And since I announced I was going to run for town council after I met with those founding fathers, really, of the town, I think I've only missed 2 since that time.
2 council meetings?
2 council meetings since that time, 1 for vacation, 1 for business. I think that's the total. I think it's about 5 or 6 at this point.
Okay.
So it's a great town. I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Matt. How about you, Todd?
Like I said, we moved here in 2007. I found out about the Leadership Institute around 2011 or so. Went through it in 2012. And for any of you who haven't done it, it's a great opportunity to learn about the different parts of the town. And if you get to do the helicopter ride from SRP, that's even better. That was great. The town council meetings, I probably attended 3, 4, 5 in the last year. At the time that I've been here, when I first moved here, I wasn't planning on running for town council, anything like that, so I didn't get involved with it. I was doing school and other things after I got involved in the Transportation Advisory Committee. I made almost all those meetings, but haven't been to all the town council meetings. I try to hit, especially the budget meetings and other ones where I see there's something important that has been of importance to me. As far as getting up to speed with what's going on with the town, we've got great town council people right now who I'm sure more than willing to work with us. Those who I've talked to are in helping us get up to date on things. There's great town staff who knows what's going on, and just taking the time with the citizens to find out their questions, their issues, what they're seeing, and being able to take that to the staff and know what our town's looking for. I think that's the best way to get up to date and to get to know what issues are facing the town along with those that I already see.
Great. Thank you, Todd. How about you, Jay?
All right. Well, I moved, actually my family, I should say, moved to Queen Creek in August of 2015. So I am the newest to Queen Creek up here. But that doesn't mean that this is my first experience with Queen Creek. Since 2012, whether it was campaigning for the school board, whether it was serving on the school board, whether it was serving on Congressman Salmon's advisory council, or any number of other community service endeavors that I've undertaken. I've been representing multiple thousands of Queen Creek residents. On the school board, it was about a fifth of the town that we had within our Higley boundaries. And then Congressman Salmon CD5 Council, that's obviously the whole town. The local Republican Party of Gilbert and Queen Creek, that obviously covers the whole town. And so I've had a chance to engage with quite a few Queen Creek citizens over the last few years. That said, so citizen leadership I have not attended, but I would be very interested in doing it as well. I think Matt mentioned that he would too, and that'd be nice if him and I get elected, we can do it together. So And then
Council meetings?
the last part of the question was council meetings. Yeah. So I've been to probably 6 or 8 so far. That's probably about right. And then, but here's the beautiful part. Council meetings are online, right? And so you can go back and watch the archived videos for years in the past. And so I have been watching videos going back right now about 12 months back, and I plan on going about 18 months back, between now and should I get elected. And then obviously working with town staff to get up to speed, working with the other council members, both Councilmember Wheatley and Oliphant and Turley, Mayor Barney, working with all of them so we can get up to speed.
Great, thank you very much. Let me just ask you, is everybody able to hear